Hello and welcome to Circuit Crest TV. I'm your host Brian Jenkins, and welcome to Arduino tutorial number 10. Now, in one of my previous videos, I promised that before we went any further and talked any more about coding or hardware, that we would take a real program, a functional program, and dissect it. So, being a man of my word, that is exactly what I'm going to do here today. Now, this video is unscripted, so you'll have to pardon me if I make any mistakes or anything like that. I'm just going to go for it here. And the sketch that I decided to dissect is a simple one. It's a built-in sketch, and it is the fade sketch. So we go here to File, Examples, Basics, and then this fade one right here, and we'll expand that. And here's the sketch. Now, this sketch, all it does is it fades an LED on and off, as you can see in the inset below. So let's step through this code, and this requires hardware, so we're not really going to get into that right now. I just want to take a look at the code. It requires you to use an LED, not the built-in one, but an external one, but we're not going to worry about that. So let's start. Here we see, as usual, we start the program with some comments that tell us about the program. The title tells us what it does and gives us some other hints. So once we're past the comments, we can see here we've declared a couple different integers. We got int LED 9, brightness, and fade amount. And we can see here that each one has a comment next to it. So this code is well commented, and it tells you exactly what these variables are for. Now we get into the setup function, which is required in every Arduino program, and we have some comments here, and it tells you this declares pin 9 to be an output. So we use the pin mode function that's built into the Arduino IDE, and remember, LED we declared as 9. So we just use the name of the variable, and then we make it an output with the word output. And that's all there is to setup. So this takes pin 9 and designates it as an output. Now we jump into the loop function, which is another required function, and we see right away more comments. Set the brightness of pin 9. So analog write is another built-in function, and we have again our variable LED and our variable brightness. So brightness right now is 0. So that means the LED is going to be off. Now here we change the brightness, and it's another comment that tells you exactly what it does. And this is why it's a great idea to comment your code well, guys. That way you don't forget, or if somebody else has to work on it with you, they know exactly what you're doing. So here we're taking brightness, which originally was 0, and we're setting it equal to another value, brightness plus fade amount. And fade amount is an integer that we declared as 5 in the beginning here. So we're just taking and adding 5. And it's going to go through the loop, and then here we have an if statement, which is a type of control structure that we'll talk about in another tutorial. Okay, and this is saying if brightness is less than or equal to 0, or, and that these two bars here is a logical or, by the way, brightness is greater than or equal to 255, then we're going to fade it off. We take fade amount and we set it to the negative or the complement, which should make it fade off. Now, last but not least, we have the delay function. This is another great built-in function. And if you were programming in C, just regular C, like if you were programming a PIC or something else, or the AVR microcontroller, you would have to write these functions yourself, by the way. But with the Arduino IDE, you have these built in. And all this does is it delays for 30 milliseconds and then starts again with the loop. Now, an important thing to remember is delay, it takes milliseconds. So this isn't 30 seconds, this is 30 milliseconds. So if I wanted a 1 second delay, I would have to put the number 1000 in here, because 1000 milliseconds is 1 second. So that's all there is to it, guys. We went through this simple program, and as time moves on, we're going to do more complex stuff with the Arduino, with both hardware and software. But I hope you enjoyed this. Go ahead and hit thumbs up and leave us a comment. Tell us about what you're working on. We'd love to hear about what everybody's doing out there with the Arduino. If you're interested in Arduino and microcontrollers, you'll love how to get started with Arduino in 1 day or less. Get instant access now by clicking the link below in the description.